Welcome, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on which time zone you are in. Today's presentation is about how we can present a story around your data using tools like Microsoft Power BI. This is in series of our presentations on Power BI and data and analytics, presented by our company Advaiya. Today's presenters are going to be Darren Lang, who is our Senior Director and Chief of Operations in the United States, and Dharmesh Koda, will be joining him in this presentation. Just quick word about our company, Advaiya. We are gold certified Microsoft partners, and we specialized in how to make digital presence in any organization work. So what we do is basically make technology work for you. We optimize various technology investments that you have already made and make them work for you in order to get the most value out of the systems. We help organizations optimize their processes, digitize their work field, get the most output using reporting tools like Microsoft Power BI, and automations and workflows using Office 365. Our offerings are divided into four sections. The first one is project and portfolio management, under which what we do is basically help various organizations to set up their project management office or help them optimize their project management processes using tools like Microsoft Project Online and Microsoft Project Power BI. Then we offer modern internet services, which is basically tools and sets built over Office 365 in order to digitize your operations and also to optimize your document management, your portal presence, your uh, communications and collaborations. Third, we help organizations move to cloud. So not only moving applications on the cloud, but also moving the overall infrastructures, including your email, your collaboration, your document management, your file shares, everything on the cloud, and help organizations adopt various cloud level technologies. Again, this offering is pretty much dependent on our Office 365 expertise. Finally, we help organizations present their data in a way that they can make proper decisions and appropriate decisions, which is part of our adaptive BI services. We help organizations get trained on their data elements and how to report the data, and also help organizations build data connections not only within the data present in their organizations, but a lot of external sources, publicly or non-publicly available data sources, to make the most inference or like the most useful inference out of their data set. So this is what we do as our company as a consulting services company. With that, I would like to introduce our agenda for today. What we will be working on in the beginning is basically talk about what data elements, what data categories, what kind of dimensions we should be looking for, and how do we identify them. Then we will talk about the most commonly used terms like drill down and drill through. What does that mean? What is the difference between these two things? How do I configure drill down and how do I configure drill throughs? Then we'll talk about the unique and new features of Microsoft Power BI, which is called Bookmarks, and how do we use that. Then we talk about how do we navigate using our own dashboard. How do we create some navigation elements like buttons and links. Then we'll talk about getting, like, once we present the data story, how do we present our inference, or how do we conclude our data story. Then following that, we'll talk about other new features and other capabilities available in Microsoft Power BI, which can help you illustrate your data in a better way. With that, I will pass over to Darren Lang.
Yes, thank you, Dharmesh. And again, hello and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. So, as you would imagine, it is really important for you to understand at least some aspects of your data when you're trying to put it together and trying to articulate your data or put it together in a way that helps you tell a story. So, it's important for you to identify those dimensions in your data that you want your store to be around. So in this example, we're going to be using kind of user location, some ratings score, category, and hotel names. But of course, depending on your data, you might find other elements and other dimensions that you want to tell the story around. So there's a really popular feature that had been available for a little while in Power BI called drill through. And the idea behind a drill through is to be able to select a item from a bar chart and drill into another set of visualizations based on that bar's value. So if I want to drill into a specific location, I'm able to make drill into a set of different visualizations based on that selection. And then yeah.
So in other words, we are basically getting more detailed out information about something specific in a totally different graph, right?
Yeah, it's a completely new layout of your report with different visualizations, specific and filtered based on that selection from your originating report. So, and I'll show you that a little bit in the demo, but it just makes it so that when you drill into it or when you want to get the next level of detail down for that bar item, then this just makes it really easy for you to navigate to a page that has much richer information about that particular selection.
Got it.
The other really popular, important feature is drill down. Now, a drill down allows you to, using the same visualization and within that same visualization, be able to basically, one or two clicks down into that data. So I can see the bar chart. In this example, I can see a bar chart, and when I drill down one level, then I'll see instead of the bars being based on a year, they're based on a location or a hotel name. So it just allows you to go within that visualization one level down.
Got it.
So quickly on how to configure your drill through on the report or the report tab that you want your destination to show. What you do is in the visualization section of the report, in the drill through area, you identify the field that you want this particular report to be the destination for your drill through. So on this example, we see that we have a report. Whoops, let me get back there. We have a report that we're going to drill down into. So we're identifying a value in the bar chart, and we're selecting another page of that report that we want to drill through to that has is filtered based on my selection of that bar chart. So we might decide to go to a ratings or a sentiment report based on that selection. And everything in that ratings and sentiment report will be filtered based on my selection in the reviews by location bar chart.
So Darren, in many cases, I do set up filters and I do select certain fields to show it in certain ways. But whenever I go back to that page, I have to, it goes and resets itself. And so I need to, again, reselect or refilter the things to show the data. Is there a quick way of doing or saving my selections on filters and drill downs?
Yeah. Another feature that I want to talk about today is the bookmark feature. So there's a couple of different ways of implementing a bookmark. One way is to use it as a guide through the filters on your page. So you might set it up if you have several filters on your page. You can bookmark all of those filter settings that allow you to go back to that filter selections easily, and other people can go back to that, or as part of your stepping through that story that you're trying to tell with your data, you can save these bookmarks and then just step through those different bookmarks, and it'll have all of those filters selected the way that you want to, so that you don't have to, configure all of your filters as you're telling the story. You can just have them bookmarked and go directly to them. Now, another way that you can use bookmarks and tell story is to, create a kind of a navigation, or highlight some very specific information or a conclusion about your data. So you can set up these bookmarks that allow you to navigate to another report that highlights the part of the story that you're trying to tell with that report. And you can use those navigation, or those bookmarks, as a navigation, to and back from those various pages within the report. In this particular one, you can see that we're using bookmarks to highlight, specific conclusions about my data. And in this example, we're using bookmarks as a way to navigate through the report from a kind of a pseudo homepage. We can just click on a bookmark like hotel sentiment analysis, and then once we get onto that page, we can click the back button that'll take us back to this home page. And then, of course, we talked a little bit about the inclusion of a key insights or a conclusion to your data. Using the bookmarks, it makes it a great way for you to wrap up your story and have a nice, neat way of summarizing your data. And this is really a great way to bring that story, that core meaning that you're trying to get out of this data. You can really set these things up so that it tells that story really well and drives that final conclusion home to your viewers. Include into your story that are really important. And while we're only going to talk about a few of those during this presentation, there are others. For example, having a compelling design. The compelling design is really quite important for usability as well as telling that story. And putting a good design, I can't stress enough how important that is. A lot of times there's so many beautiful visualizations, and we can add those without spending any time on the design. So putting together a good design is really important. Of course, setting up the proper filters and sorts, etc., and highlighting your data is really important. And with some of the new features in the May release of the Power BI desktop version, there's some new capabilities around formatting the data labels separately, so you can format one set of data labels differently than another, so that it makes it really nice. And then, of course, creating measures to highlight certain trends are going to be very important to tell your story as well. That kind of goes back into the setting up the data model, but it is really important for telling the story as well. And then, of course, those custom visualizations, using the right visualization for the data type is really important. Obviously, if you've got location data, putting it on a map, might be really, insightful and helpful to tell that story. And then, of course, I added a link here to this deck so that you all could access that the latest updates that are available for the May release. Really some good stuff. And if you're using Windows 10 and you download Power BI Desktop from there, it'll automatically refresh. Otherwise, you'll have to download it. But either way, every month there's a new release, so that's really quite fun, quite good. We're putting out new stuff all the time. All right, and then so let's go ahead and jump into a demo.
So a couple of things. First of all, I request to everybody, if you guys have any question at any given time, please feel free to add those questions in the chat window. The second thing, Darren, I believe some of our attendees are probably new to Power BI. So maybe a quick introduction to Power BI would be great. I apologize, we should have made it clear that we are assuming that you guys have basic introductions to Power BI. If not, please feel free to reach out to us at any given time, and we will be happy to introduce Microsoft Power BI to you. There are a couple of videos that are already posted on our website, which kind of goes into the introduction to Power BI, and you can get into some details around that. And we will continue with our demo right now.
Yeah, thank you, Dharmesh. What I'm showing here is the desktop version. This is just I downloaded the Power BI desktop. It's a free download, so it doesn't cost any money. You can download it. And this is the tool that I use to author my Power BI reports. So this is the authoring tool. And then when I have it ready and I want to publish it, I can publish it up to Power BI Online. And I'll show you that here in a minute. So when I put together some reports, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and create some visualizations that I think are really important for myself or for the viewer, so that I put these things together and I let people look at those visualizations. But a lot of times that's not enough, right? And I want to be able to kind of drill in. Right, and so the first kind of feature that I want to talk about is the drill down. So if I have a bar chart like this, and these are different months when the review comes in. Oh, and I'm sorry, just to back up just a bit. So the top part is the ribbon, where all of these kind of common commands. The ribbon is something that you'll find on every single Microsoft product, pretty much, is a ribbon across the top. We have a couple of left navigation that allows me to go from the reports to the data to the relationships, and then back to the reports. So this is just an easy way to get at that. On the report page, of course, we have the report area where I author my report. I have some visualizations up on the top here that I can just click on and choose. So if, for example, I add a new report here, I can put this in and I can show something like different items. Now you can see that some of these are not going to be particularly good for this graphic. So I might want to choose something else. So using a different value for my my visualization will be important, right? So this particular visualization isn't good, but I can change it to a table or a hotel name, right? So these are the visualizations that I have available to me. There are kind of three links of features here underneath the visualizations. This is where the fields are that I want to, how I want my report fields to be displayed there, and what fields are available for the visualizations. And then I can do a little bit of formatting, and then I can do some analytics. If this particular visualization enables some sort of analysis, then it'll be underneath this analysis. So I spend a lot of time on these two tabs here, putting in the fields that I want to see, choosing the visualization, and configuring the visualization the way that I need, till I get something like this, like a report. So and then of course are the field sections on the furthest right. These are the fields from my data model that I'm just throwing in there. All right, so that's a real quick rundown on the Power BI desktop. There's many more features and things that you need to know to be efficient at Power BI, but just for those that are not familiar with what you're looking at, that's kind of what we're looking at. Like I said, the drill down, I can easily set up a drill down. So here's my visualization. I've got this bar chart with some fields, and all I need to do is add a field to my x-axis. So my original x-axis just had by month. And so by adding just the hotel names underneath the month, then it will allow me to drill down into the hotel name. So right now you can see that these are the months, and if I enable the drill down, so I can click this to turn it on, and then I can use these buttons, or I can right click and choose drill down. So I go from the month to the hotel name. So here's our hotel names that we're showing instead of the month. Okay, and then of course I can drill back up, or I can right click on here and I can drill up. Okay, so I'm back at my months. So using that drill down as part of your story will help you illustrate or show the user how that's going to work. Now I can also double click on the bar, and it'll do the same thing. It'll go into my hotel names. And I'm just simply by adding this hotel names underneath this, it enables that drill through. And I can have multiple levels here. If I wanted to, let's say I wanted to do by rating score. I could also add rating score to my drill down, and I could go down even further, for each one of those to the rating score. So there's, any number of different drill downs that you may want to choose to use. Okay. Are there any questions with that real quick?
The questions are being taken care of. Thanks.
Okay. Oh, okay. You're all right. Perfect. I'm not monitoring the question, so I'll let you do that, Dharmesh. The next thing that I want to show is the drill through. So what the drill through does is it allows you to basically take a value in your bar chart and drill, show a whole new set of visualizations based on that selection. So let's say, for example, I'm here in Atlanta and I see that Atlanta has 68% of the reviews are positive. I can right click on it and I can go drill through and I can see those actual ratings and sentiments. So it takes me to another page that has a completely different set of visualizations that allow me to kind of explore that data with that selection that I created earlier. So I'm just going to go back there and show that again. So if I click on the 68.9% of the positive reviews, and I drill into ratings and sentiment, it shows those with that selection, that Atlanta with the positive reviews are being filtered on this page, so I can see all of my positive reviews. And you'll see in this list that they're only positive reviews. And I'm seeing all of the locations in Atlanta and all of the scores for those hotels in Atlanta. So again, it allows me to show a completely different set of visualizations filtered on my selection, right? So let me show you another example of this, and then I'll show you how to configure it real quickly. So on this visualization down here, reviews by month, I can take a look at May has 57 positive reviews, and so if I want to drill down into that, you can see that I don't have it drill through, I can only drill down. So I choose May, and it drills down into the different months. And I can see that the Big Creek Marina has 3 negative reviews. And if I want to see that, then I can go to my drill through page and I can click on the ratings and sentiment, because I have it configured that my locations go to a drill through. And now I can see what those 3 ratings are, and I can see what the overall sentiment is for that particular location. Right? So even though I'm coming from the this visualization that is reviews by month, and I drill into that onto the individual locations, then I'm using this filter as a way of filtering all of the visualizations on my drill through page. Whew. Okay, so how do I configure this? So all I need to do is, first of all, I have to select a dimension or a field that I want to drill through. So if this is my, I'm using on this visualization, I'm using the location field, then I have to use location, this particular location, the hotel name as the metric or excuse me, dimension or field name. And then I can go to any page that I want, like this one here, and down at the bottom of the page, so if I'm selected on a visualization, you can see the drill through here. If I don't have a visualization, then you're going to see the drill through as well. So all I need to do is put a value, that field, into this spot here, and so all I'll do is I'll just drag this down and put that in there. So now I have hotels selected in my hotel name, selected my drill through. So now when I'm back on my sentiment analysis page, and I am looking at hotels, and I can do the same thing. So I'm going to the Big Creek Marina, and I can go to my drill through. Now all of a sudden I have page 1 show up. So just by adding the value to my drill through, adding my dimension or field to my drill through field, then it automatically adds this to my drill through. So if I select page 1, what it's going to do is filter whatever is on this page based on my selection. And then the other thing that you'll notice is that whenever you drill through, it automatically puts a back button on there. So you can format this back button however you want, but it automatically put a back button. All I'm doing is holding the control key down. You have to hold the control key down when you use the bookmarks and the back button on the desktop. From the Power BI Online, you do not need to hold the control key down. So I'm just going to hold the control key down and hit the back button, and it'll take me back to that page, wherever I came from. It'll automatically send me back here. So that's kind of the drill through and the drill down. The other one that I wanted to show you was the bookmarks. So the nice thing about bookmarks, and to view the bookmarks, click on the view under the top menu, and then there's a bookmarks pane. So just click that and you'll see that list of bookmarks. So the nice thing about, I can add any bookmark I want. I simply go here and I add from my buttons. I can add any button I want. I can also do a blank button, which will allow me to put any image that I want in there. So, but for this, I'll just put information. I'm not using the information button anywhere, so so you can see me add it here. So if I put this information, all I need to do is then go into my visualization, right here, my visualization set of configurations, and so I have this selected. And I'm just going in here and I can configure that, and one of the items is action, so I can click on the on and then select what I want it to use. If I want to use a bookmark, then I get to choose one of those bookmarks that I was listing before. So again, if I go to view bookmark panes, you'll see that this list of bookmarks are the same ones that are listed here, right? And let's say I want to use insights. Key insights. So that's how this particular set, or this particular image and bookmark is used on this navigation page.
Can you quickly show how to add a bookmark? Like create a new bookmark.
Oh, sure. So let's say, for example, I am on my word cloud. And this goes and creates word cloud based on my selection. And let's say, I'm having a conversation with my marketing team, and there's certain words that, we want to kind of, narrow down in, or certain type of ratings that we want to narrow down in what people are saying. So if I click a rating, particular rating, and I want, for, let's say I want to do it for the, Brooklyn area, I can select those as well, and now I have a set of word clouds and some reviews specifically for this selection. So all I need to do is click on Add Bookmark, and it'll create that bookmark, and then I can rename the bookmark. Right? I can say uh, Brooklyn 2-star, right? So, and then when I'm, let's say I go to my page here and I want to add a bookmark, I'm going to add a button and we'll make it a bookmark. The bookmark is automatically enabled with this action button. So I just get to choose. All I really need to do is choose which bookmark. So I choose the Brooklyn 2. So now when I hover over this, I hold the control key down and click on it, it'll take me to that page with everything configured exactly as the bookmark.
Yeah,
So
that gives us a real quick way of pre-filtering and pre-selecting the data element that we want to highlight.
yeah, exactly. So if one way again of telling the story is to create a set of these bookmarks, and whether you use them in a kind of a navigation page like what we've done here, where I can click on these and go to them, or this key insights page, which is pretty cool as well. And I'll show this on the site. This is pretty neat. Then really what I'm doing is just creating these bookmarks to help tell that story. So whether I'm doing it this way or actually just walking through these different links here, as I'm articulating my data story, I can absolutely do that as well, right? So every one of these can help me tell that story of the data, and bookmarks are a great way of doing that. But let me show you real quickly, because we're kind of running out of time. Let me show you real quickly what this looks like on the website. So here's the Power BI report. This is kind of a website view of what it looks like. So I don't have to hold the control key down. This operates a lot like a navigation page. I could probably set up a more kind of website looking design if I wanted to, but all I need to do is click on the bookmark. It takes me to the bookmark. Anytime I want to, I can go back. If I play with the data a little bit, and let's say I look at locations and I'm just clicking around to look at it. Anytime I can reset. There's a really nice reset feature that allows you to reset your filters. I can also incorporate forward and backward buttons if I want to, so I can work my way through. And you can see that I'm not seeing any of those tabs at the bottom like before on the desktop. I'm just seeing the report. So it really feels more like this really informative, almost website as opposed to a Power BI report. And whenever I click the back, whether I click it over here or over here, this one will actually take me to a different tab, where this one takes me to wherever I came from. So when these two are the same, of course, I'm going to go to the same location. But at one point, I can actually have it go back to that home page. Now, I can also see the same thing on the Power BI. So if you're not using the embed code, you can do the same thing here. So if I'm looking at sentiment and I go in and I want to take a look at how come there's 81% positive reviews in New Jersey, I can click on it and kind of drill into it and look at it. I click that back button to go back to the home page. Or not the home page, but the page that I drilled from. And let me go back to the home page. Let me show you this insight page. This kind of you can incorporate some conclusions about your data, right? We start out with the top hotels based on the rating and review for the last 6 months. Top hotels based on rating and review for the last month. The best hotels in each area, and I can still, kind of use this data and as part of the story. I can use it as part of my navigation, but it's a great way to show some conclusions here. Yeah, so whether you're using, like I said, whether you're using the Power BI, you can see I hid those other tabs, so you're not seeing them, even though I'm, showing a page based on those other tabs. So I can, really, I can hide those other tabs. I don't have to let people see them, and it just makes it a great way to share the data and tell that story. Okay, wow,
Can you quickly talk about the reset button?
So the reset button. Okay, so let me go to the hotel sentiment analysis. So sometimes I get going on this data, and I start doing a bunch of clicking around, exploring the data, and I can set this reset so that it takes me back to a default set of visualizations. So when I click it, it's just going to reset everything to where I was. This is very helpful when I'm on a page where there's a lot of filtering and a lot of interactions. It just makes it easy for me to get back to where I was, right? And it sets up a default set of filter configuration. So that reset filters is a really nice feature.
Okay. Hey, can you quickly demonstrate how to hide the other tabs and also how to add these buttons quickly on the Power BI desktop?
Yes. So quickly, he says, "You're funny." So what I'm going to do is, so first of all, I'm just going to minimize some of these so it's not taking up so much room. So when I want to add first of all, I have to do this from. Well, I don't have to, but I'm doing this from the Power BI desktop. This is the desktop version here. It's just a desktop application. And all I need to do is right click on these. So when I right click on them, I have the ability to, of course, duplicate, rename, and hide. One of them is hide. So I can hide that page. Or much, this is much like Excel, or other applications that have a kind of a tabbing feature. I can delete them easily. I can add new ones. I can click the plus sign, rename it. And when I do that, if I hide it, if you don't have permission to download this, or modify these, then you're not going to be able to see these different tabs. We'll decide. So really, users are only going to be able to see this one tab, this hotel review sentiment analysis tab. Certain ones you can't see. Let's see. You wanted to ask about a buttons again,
Yep.
or was it tabs along the bottom that you were referring to?
The reset button.
Oh, the reset. Reset is really a feature available now in Power BI. So when you add a button, you can include reset. I'll just add this and I'll just put it right here so you can see it. And then under actions, right, we can reset it back to however we had it.
Got it. Great. So this is the way I can create my own story and highlight the things that I want to highlight in my data set and present it to my executives or my customers uh, in order to show them what I would like to show them instead of them navigating or every time going in and selecting and like doing the filtering. I can give them a ready-made report that they can use and perform actions on.
Yeah, Microsoft's understanding of the evolution of BI reporting within enterprises, really has gotten to a point where end users are able to take those data sources, massage that data, and create those visualizations in the reports that really help them do their job. But there are still users out there that kind of want to be hand fed, the data and hand fed reports. And by putting these reports together and using these different features like bookmarks, it really allows you to help them, kind of almost guide them without you being there. Through that data, so that they can understand and use that data in a really purposeful way and be productive, with what they're doing. So, these are just some really common little features available in Power BI that are, they're certainly part of the reason why, Power BI is really a leader, in the BI space. So, it's important to understand how these features work and how simple it is to configure them, and how easy it is for end users to use them.
Well, now the forum is open for questions. I want to highlight here that we have a survey which is available on the screen right now. Either you can click on it, or you can take a QR reader to go to that particular website and fill up the survey. The one way that we help organizations adopt these kinds of technology is by understanding their data model and present them a very customized training for themselves or for their employees or executives or things or any of the group of people that they would like to. The other ways that we help organization to adopt Power BI or adopt any of the reporting solution is basically help them understand the underlying data structure, and also how can we associate their underlying data with any other external data available, and kind of create some analysis and give them meaningful insights around those. So as Microsoft partner, we help various organizations to get to the outcome that they are looking for using these simple set of technologies. So once you fill up the survey, will be reaching out to you, and we'll also give you a very like a kind of a detailed analysis by within a 1 hour or 2 hours of meeting.
Yeah, and if there are any questions, I went ahead and unmuted everyone. If you have any questions, any additional questions, please don't hesitate, to ask. Yeah, we're happy to help you, with any question about Power BI. Sometimes it's a little easier to do it, asking instead of typing. So we're happy to do that. Yeah, so there's the QR code there, or you can use the bit.ly link to fill out the form. We love feedback. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear what kind of webinars you'd like to see in the future. Any of that. And of course, as Dharmesh mentioned,
One of the attendees mentioning that the permission to view this form is not there. So can we double check that?
Certainly. Yeah. Wow. It would be important to be able to make modifications to that form, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So in any case, Roy Lee and other presenters, if the form is not working, we will send out via email as well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Can you go to the next slide?
Yes. Absolutely.
So yeah, so everybody's getting the no permission problem. So we'll resolve that and send out a new link as soon as possible.
All right. Excellent.
Well, with that, we have come to the conclusion of the webinar. Thank you for attending. And as I just mentioned, we'll be sending out a survey again. So please fill out the survey so that we can discuss and we can decide on the new topics that we would like to present. And also, we can assist you in your own organization's Power BI implementation or reporting implementation. Our contact information is there on the screen. Please feel free to reach out to any of us at any given time, and we'll be happy to assist you in whatever ways possible. Again, thank you, and we hope to see you in future webinars.
Yes, thank you.